Our 2 cents.
With Oscar.
I have to be this way because for some reason, the way I set up my wires, I have to be on this side. Anyways, how are you? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. See, today I had a lot of conversations with different people in the past, but I have I? Maybe I have talked to people who offer a course in a subject. I don't know if I should turn that AC off because it's making a lot of noise. Anyways, we'll leave it on for now. But I am talking to a new friend I made. His name is Josh, and he does harvest microgreens. Now, we've all gone to the grocery stores and seen those small packages with microgreens. I don't think I've ever even heard that word, those words used together, harvesting and microgreens. To me, I thought it was like they get them in the truck, but no, they get them in the truck like regular produce, but it's regular people doing this job. So they're harvesting their all of the things in their homes, and people make money off of it. And this is one of the subjects that get me as a homeowner excited. It's side hustles that people choose to do. So I'm gonna bring my friend Josh Shaver, which I'm excited to talk to. There's so many questions I want to ask him on the subject. So let's allow him in to the subject. And I've been planning. I wanted to have this conversation a long time ago, but I don't remember what was the reason why the conversation didn't go through that time with him. But
what's up, man?
Oh, there he is. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
All right, how do I fix that?
There it is. Take two, right?
Yeah, take two, man. That's look, I don't have a mic hooked up. I'm having to run it off my phone. I bought a new laptop, man. I don't know what's up with it. Some reason I'm not getting the camera to show up on my Zoom.
Look, I'm having issues with my laptop too. That's why I sent you like 3 different links already. If you want, you want to figure out the kinks that we're having right now and reschedule. We can definitely reschedule. It's not a problem.
No, man, I'm good, babe. Let's go. I see you. You see me. We can hear each other.
But you're breaking up a lot over on my end right here.
Oh man,
I know. That's why the laptop. On the laptop you sounded great. It sounded like a smooth video or something like that. But it's up to you. See, like you're frozen.
Well, right? I wonder. Yeah, I was thinking. I'm sorry. I wonder if I could. I wonder if I could put my laptop on with my mic and you can see me through my phone.
You know what? Let's just do it like this. No worries. We'll figure it out. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll do it over again. That sound good?
That's cool, man.
All right. Let's do it. Okay. So let me introduce myself. My name is Oscar. I do a podcast which I put on hold for about a month, unfortunately. But fortunately, because I finally managed to get myself a house, so that's why I had to put it off for a month. But anyways, we're back, and I tried to talk to you in the past, but for some reason we didn't get to do this conversation. But I'm glad you reached out afterwards, because I honestly had completely forgotten. And since our conversation didn't go through, I was like, all right, maybe I'll try some other time. And like you kind of like went out of my For You page. You didn't come out of my For You page until maybe a couple days before you sent me a message again, but I didn't want to bother because I see you were too busy with your course and your side job and all that good stuff that you're doing. Anyways, so I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself and let us know who you are and what you do and more or less what we're going to be talking about a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. First off, man, congratulations on the house. That's no small step. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Thanks for the invitation. I'm Josh, formerly with Shosas Farms, Microgreens, but we have sold in the past month, man. So now I'm kind of pivoting towards a new career path. Like I said, I still have my course. That's under a separate LLC, so we're definitely pushing that. And we definitely want to get the word out there about how easy this is to grow your own food, and not only just for yourself and your family, but for your community.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it comes down to. I never expected everything to pop off the way it popped off. And honestly, the way it popped off, it was kind of funny. You're the first person that I've taken a meeting with, and I got asked by MSNBC,
Wow.
several other local news media stations, and I didn't have the time up till now. So I'm here,
Great.
man,
Thank you.
and
Thank
I
you.
definitely look forward to this. And like I say, man, we just sold, so I'm still on the high from that, and we're rolling, bro. So I'm doing stuff with the course now, and I'm trying to get more one-on-one depth with everybody that's in the course and a lot of my TikTok followers too, man. So I definitely appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate you
Thank you.
reaching out and linking up.
Right. Definitely. I kind of wanted to be the first one to reach out because I like feeling special. Uh, um, anyways, first of all, what are microgreens? Like, let's start with that because before I saw your TikToks, I had absolutely no idea that word existed. So first of all, what is
Yeah.
it?
So microgreens are adolescent vegetables to all the vegetables you already eat. So we're talking kale, spinach, beet. They're adolescent greens to all the greens you already eat. I mean, I've seen people do this for carrots, cantaloupe. So and almost it goes. The list is huge, really.
Right.
But the kicker on this is that they're superfoods, man. So they're 40 times more nutrient dense, up to 40 times. So of course, it's going to vary from crop to crop,
Mm-hmm.
but up to 40 times more nutrient dense. So essentially, man, what we're selling is nutrients in the form of locally grown produce.
Yeah,
And that's
nothing
the real
better than
kicker,
that.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the real kicker. So that's what it is, bro. Some of the most common ones we grow here are sunflower, and I realize a lot of people don't eat sunflower, but pretty popular are sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
And still, sunflower definitely is probably the number one seller here. Next to that, what I'd have to be is pea shoots, man. I know when I was younger, I used to hate them, man. I used to fight my mom all the time over that. And these are just so easy to consume, man. They're fresh. The taste is it's so much more potent than it would be in an actual pea pod, So it's cool, man. Really, it's life changing for sure. Some of the home subscribers that we do service with, one lady has come up to us, and the reason she signed on to us was because it's a cool story, man. Where we buy our soil at, the lady was like, "Why are you buying so much soil, man? What are y'all growing?" So we told her, we're like, "Man, we grow microgreens." Me and my wife were there picking up. I think we bought 4 bags, and they're no small size bags. So, anyways,
Okay.
we bought 4 bags, and she's like, "What are y'all growing?" So we tell her what we're growing, and she's like, she asked, "Do y'all grow kale?" Said, "Yes, ma'am, absolutely, we grow kale." Um, so, well, look, I'd be interested. So, right there, we sold her on our home subscription model, and she signed up for. She just wanted kale, which is cool. I mean, we do business with her on a personal level,
Mm-hmm.
and we normally don't do just kale. We got like seven items we like to push. So
Okay.
we gave her just kale, and long story short, man, she wanted just kale for her cholesterol, and it dropped in a month. It dropped her cholesterol points 20 points. I don't want to say it was 22 to be exact, but 20 points in a
Right.
month. Just the thing she changed, man, was eating kale. She had already been exercising. She had already been taking the medicine. So she got with us, and we just happened to be at the right time, right place, and she got kale. And like I say, a month it changed the course of her life.
She changed her eating habits, and obviously that helps. So that, yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
100%, bro.
That's important.
And
Yeah.
that's the essential point that we're selling is nutrients.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. Like, do you plan on doing like in the near future, like say like you know how Amazon does the is it groceries that they deliver? Is that in the plans for you to deliver straight home to to homes, like people wanting to have a like a prescription for a personal prescription, like the way you're doing for that lady? Do you plan on doing that bigger, or do you think there's a market there, or would it be easier the other way that you're doing it, which is for like nutri shops and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, as a business, we definitely want to venture out into anything that we can receive income from,
Of course.
and that that was actually a big source for income next to grocery stores. Of course, grocery stores was by far the number one source of income for our business. But second to that would be home subscribers. So, like you or your family, they would subscribe to us. And for the subscription, it would contain maybe 7 ounces, 7 to 10 ounces of different product, peas, sunflower, kale, spicy salad mix. Let's say I got some more wrote on the board here. We had radish, broccoli is another big one. And every once in a while, we throw in a more exotic crop like beets or basil, something like that. We put it in, and I mean, it sold very good. We did the first time we ran and did home subscribers. We come up with the idea at a farmer's market, and we had put a sign up sheet out. Anybody that'd be interested in that, sign up. Because right away I didn't like giving, or my wife who was running it at the time,
Mhm.
had given up, a Saturday to go sit out at a farmer's market. I think it was at the time it was from 8 to noon, but that's still 4 hours on Saturday,
Yeah.
and this is just a side job. So when I'm home, I'm all about family. I like spending time with family, soccer games,
Yeah.
volleyball games, stuff like that with my
Right.
girls. And I didn't like that time. So we definitely wanted to look at different avenues, and home subscribers, like you was just saying, was a great source of income. For the people out there that's interested in it, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We ran multiple Facebook ads that definitely helped zero in on potential clients and bring them in.
Right. Oh man, that's awesome that you already at least tested out those waters to see how it goes. And you know that it can be successful. Because but I think I jumped the gun too earlier. I was gonna ask, what do you do? Because the microgreens is your side hustle, right? So what do you do for a regular, like for a regular job?
Yeah, so I actually do work in the oil and gas field offshore in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, nice,
So
nice.
yeah,
What,
man, I'm
okay,
normally gone for
were you there for the explosion?
no, man. I
Uh,
wasn't over.
I was gonna
Oh,
ask you if it was that demon, the demon that they were saying that it was coming out of the ocean. I'm just kidding. I don't know if you heard about that. Did you hear about
no,
that theory?
yeah, man, I heard about that and I laughed at it because if you right after the explosion, they had a fire in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico on one of Mexico's oil platforms. There was a gas pipeline that somehow ignited, and there was a fire from the gas vapors coming out of the pipeline, bubbling up through the water.
Right.
And the explosion you're talking about happened on the other side of Florida, so it happened, I think, in the Atlantic side,
The,
and we're on the inside.
oh, when I said explosion, I was talking about the fire, but the explosion what that you're talking about on the other side was from the is it the Jesus, the Navy, right?
Yes, yeah, they were
Yeah.
testing out the Navy ship or doing some type of yeah, and the reason I say that it had tied in with that
You know
You know,
what's
they
funny?
just test,
You know what's
but
funny about this is that they even correlated that incident to an episode of South Park.
no.
Yeah, they did. There's an episode of South Park of of a fire in the ocean that there's a demon coming out of there. That's why I was like, oh, it's a demon coming out of there. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it made sense. But you know what was crazy to people like me that have no knowledge how any of that right there works? How did it catch on fire? Like, why was the water on fire? That's what's like for people, for dumb people like me that don't understand how that works. How did the water catch on fire? Maybe you can explain it
Well,
to me
it's
a
not.
little better because you do that job.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's not the water that's on fire. It's actually the gas. So when I say gas, I talk about natural gas, not gasoline.
right, right,
So the natural gas is of course it's lighter than water, so it's going to rise. It's going to form bubbles going up through the water, and as it leaves a certain depth, let's say it's 500 feet down, as it gets closer to the surface, the gas bubble actually expands, right? Because
right.
it's held under pressure at the bottom. And when it gets to the surface, it expands. So, anyways, once I assume I don't know how it caught on
Right.
fire,
This is just
but it
hypothetical. Yes.
yeah, it could be as easy as someone throwing a cigarette butt over the side of the platform. It could be easy as a boat running over the gas, maybe getting off a fume or muffler or hot muffler. I don't know.
So
I don't
see,
know how it got
see,
on fire, but something caught on fire.
dumb people like me were thinking, okay, how can where's the source of ignition underwater? But I'm not thinking above water to whatever was coming up so that the ignition could go down, right? I wasn't even thinking about that. So that's why I was like, wait, how is that possible? How is that happening? But that makes, as far as my limited understanding goes, that makes a lot of sense to me now that you put it that way. Anyways, but that's a crazy job. How the hell did you land a job like that?
Oh man, so I got lucky, bro.
All
My
right.
wife, her father worked. He was a head guy at an oil field firm, and he offered me. I started out at the bottom, man. He offered me a shop job. I think at the time I started out at $12 an hour, and we're talking 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, I thought I was making great money. So I started out in the shop, and they wound up they were short-handed offshore. So I forgot who it was that came through the shop and asked. He said he was looking for some guys to go offshore. So he came to me and said, "Hey man, you want to go offshore?" I was like, He said it pays more. It's like, all right, I'll go offshore. So went offshore, and the guy that I was out there with, he at the end of the day, man, we bust ass all day. I'm not lying, we bust as soon as we got off the helicopter. We were swinging hammers and pulling wrenches. And I'm not talking about little claw hammers. I'm talking like 10-pound mauls, Anyways,
Sledgehammers, yeah.
he got sledgehammers.
Yeah.
In the day, man, he says, "Hey, man, they told you how many hours you were getting paid for the day?" I said, "No, man, how many?" He said, "You make it 18 hours today." And we had only worked maybe 10 hours. So I'm like, shoot, man, I'm already up 8 hours. I'm like, heck yeah. So I asked him, I don't know what made me ask him, but I said, "Man, how many hours are you making?" He said, "Oh, once you break out, you'll make 24 hours. So I right there told me, right, this is what I wanted to do. And I really started taking it serious from that day forward. And
Right.
I'll put it to y'all like this. My best year was pre-COVID, was 2019. I did 147 offshore, $147,000 offshore.
When you say that they work 24 hours, putting in 24 hours, does that mean that you're actually working 18 to 24 hours or whatever time you're mentioned right now, or how does that?
Yeah, no, man. It really depends on what the company charge. So a lot of companies they operate off what's called day rates. So
Okay.
legally, maritime law grants you 12 hours off top. Like you're not going offshore for any less than 12 hours. But by us doing day rates, our company was charging 24 hours and they were giving us 18 to 24 hours. So just for me being a helper on that job, I was allotted 18 hours. And since he was the lead guy on that job, he was given the whole day rate.
But on that day, how many hours did you actually stay there?
Oh man, not many. Maybe I'd say 10 hours. We actually stayed on that job for a couple of weeks, but it paid 18 hours no matter what we worked. Now, if I'm sure if I had worked over that 18 hours, yeah, of course they would come out of pocket and pay me the whole amount of time that I'd worked. But honestly, I've been doing this 10 years. I've worked three times. I worked 36 hours straight, and I've made out on all occasions. I made out more than I worked.
How?
That's a lot of the people that do oil field work, especially offshore, to do it. They just get it's free time.
Right,
Uh,
right, right.
most of the contracts I work, they pay 12-hour minimums, but I might work 6 7 hours out of the day tops.
How often are you gone, and how long? Like in a week, like how many of those jobs do you do, or is it Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday, or how is it?
No, so I work a 24/7 call. So if anything happens offshore, I'm there. I'll go offshore. Um,
Mm.
some of my jobs last 2 3 5 days. Some of them last 6 8 weeks. And now we also do overseas assignments as well, and those could last 6 months, however long the visa is good for.
So you kind of in a way you get to travel for that, but I mean it's work related, but you get to travel somewhat sometimes.
Yeah, and the company I'm with now, man, we do a lot of work in the Virgin Islands, so that's pretty cool. We're doing work in Kazakhstan, Africa, all over the world, really, man. So we definitely do a lot of travel.
Wow, that's nice. You know what amazes me, that whatever line of work, for the most part, like the general public, for the most part, whatever line of work you get into as a teenager and you stay in that line of work, like that's the only thing you stay doing, like whether it's for this company or that company. And I've noticed it now that I've gotten into construction, because if I were to, let's just say, let me knock on wood, right? If I were to lose the job that I was, I would look for something that I know, which is what I'm doing now. And I wouldn't even think, it wouldn't even dawn on my mind to be like, oh, let me try to see if I can do what you're doing, like that, because it would be scary to me to go try to learn something new, and I wouldn't want to start at the bottom again, because right now I'm at a level where I know a lot more than if I change my course of career, if you want to call it. Then I would have to start at the bottom again, and that's scary to a lot of people, right? Because they don't think that it could happen for them, because most of us aren't. We're not confident on ourselves, most of us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I'll be honest with you too. Um, Confidence was a huge factor in for me, speaking from a personal perspective, of holding myself back. I always had anxiety around people, and it wasn't just that I wasn't as good as somebody. It always felt like I wasn't where I was supposed to be in life. You know what I mean? So I was subpar to those around me, and I still feel like that towards a way. But I guess once I got to a certain level, I was like, you know what? Or I'll say a certain age, really. I said nobody really has it figured out. Nobody really knows what the hell is going on. Everybody's just living day by day, and
And
that's what it is, man. I think, yeah, I think that everybody's hung up on that what if, and like even us doing this business, what if it fails? We just pulled the trigger on it and
yeah,
landed good.
I mean the
Of course,
thing. I didn't hear you. What you said?
I said, of course, it takes work.
Of course, yeah. I mean, nothing that's gonna be fruitful. It's easy, you know. There's a lot of things that you do that the most people that try, and they do really try doing whatever their task is, and a lot of them are not successful at it, you know. But the thing is, you got to keep doing it in order for it to become successful, and for you to get better at it, and you whatever you're doing, you're doing two completely different things that you're actually good at, you know, and you're profiting off of both things, which is it's great, and that's the goal that most of us look for, like having a stable job that you're good at and that you're well compensated for, and then on top of that, you want to have something extra on the side, just to help out. And you figure it out, both of them, which is, I'm amazed by it. I find it super interesting that that this is the mindset that I've always been looking to have. And when I was, maybe even when I was 29, I'm actually 31. I even forgot how old I am. I'm 31,
But
but by about 29, I was still trying to figure it out. Like you said, I hadn't noticed that everybody's only trying things. They don't, most people are not knowledgeable on it. They're just trying them, and if it works, it works. But the thing is to actually try to do it.
yes, absolutely, man. You got to put the work in. You got to try. I read a thing that said, you miss every shot you don't take, and
Right.
that stuck with me. And I tell my kids that, you miss every shot you don't take. So they may not be the best in soccer or at basketball or at volleyball, but I definitely push them to experience new things.
Yeah, the
They're
experience
not,
and to improve at it.
yeah, absolutely, man. You got to realize too, um, they're not going to have their youth forever, and once they get to our age, I don't want the thought to ever cross their mind of, man, I wish I tried this. No, man, wish I tried. You know, just I have too many regrets of my own, so I definitely I preach that, and it's not just here on the podcast. I live it, man.
Right.
Anything that I want to try to do, I try to do. Simple as that. If I fail, I fail, and I take that as a learning experience. I don't take that as defeat. You can't take that as defeat. You just gotta learn from it, move on, man.
Yeah. There was my uncle that told me that anytime he encounters like an obstacle and doesn't work out, he just jumps into the next whatever thing it is that he's got to do. But my answer to him was like, you know what? I'm not like that, and I wish I was like that. My first thought when something goes wrong is just to sit there and whine and cry about it and bitch about it the whole time. But I'll sleep on the bitching, but on the next day I'll be like, all right, this is what I got to do, and I'll actually do it. But for the meantime, Jesus, I apologize. But
That's
when I encounter the problem, I sit there and cry about it. It's just how I work, and it's just how I've been doing it. I should say I shouldn't be working that way, because it's not good to just dwell on it first before you get on it. I should just get on it and just go with it. But I don't do that. But his response to me when he told me that, I was like, I needed to hear it from somebody. You know certain things, but if you don't hear them from somebody, or somebody that's actually going through it, it doesn't click for some reason. My wife sometimes will tell me like, oh, you should do this, that way or that way, and you don't want to hear her. I don't get me wrong. I don't have any problems with my wife. We're happy. We're happy together. But I'm just saying
yeah.
that like you don't want to hear from her. You hear from somebody else. You actually take it into consideration, because if it comes from close to home, you don't realize it that it comes sometimes, but for the most part, you do realize it. I'm really sounding like I'm really ungrateful with my wife, but I'm not. Trust me. Anyway,
It's all good. Here, actually,
yeah,
here.
you're breaking
And
up.
I think you're giving yourself too much discredit.
I
You
do.
talked about, yeah, man, you're definitely giving yourself too much discredit, because you just said, you dwell on it for a night, you cry about it, you fuss about it, you fight about it, but the next morning you get up and you persevere, man. You push forward, you go through it, you do what needs to be done, and I think that's just a major key to success is perseverance. Just keeping that mentality going. It's okay to accept a setback. It's not okay to accept defeat, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the mindset. Real quick, kind of back on to growing. I never grew anything before in my life. Before I started everything here, I never
Right.
grew anything. I attempted to grow a couple of things. Um, of course, during my teen years, everybody plays around with marijuana. So I had a couple plants in the back, and as soon as they came out the ground, they folded over right there. Boom, done. It looked like a cat trampled through them or what. I don't know what it was. I assume that they just got top heavy and fell over. But anyways, other than that, that's the extent of my growing expertise. That's it.
Right.
That's all I try playing with, man. And I didn't let lack of knowledge stop me from doing what we do here. Instead, for 3 months solid before I even bought the first box of seeds, I studied on how to, and I didn't just study on the how to. I studied on troubleshooting, what problems can occur through the growing process. I studied on what colors to use in my branding, how my packaging needs to be, how my label needs to look, and I talk about this a lot on my TikTok.
Right.
Um, I think I think people get hung up so much in that what if.
Yeah.
Look, man, when we first our labels looked like shit. I'm not gonna lie about that. Our labels were absolute trash. They were like one by one stickers
Oh,
that we
okay.
printed off of our computer printer,
But you
and
started somewhere.
you
That's the
just can't let
thing.
that. Yeah, the thing is, you start, man, and so that's why I say, man, you're not giving yourself enough credit. When you wake up that next morning and you still push forward, bro, that's the mindset that I wish everybody had. And
Yeah.
now I'm slowly coming to the realization that a lot of people around us don't have the same mindset we have.
No, there's people that don't want it. There's people that are complacent, that are happy to be where they're at, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, because the way I see it, from my perspective, is we're only here in this life for a certain amount of time. We only have we all have a
Yeah.
expiration date. It's not like nobody knows when it is. That's the thing. So for now, I'm doing what I can to have fun with what I do, to find something that I enjoy that's gonna give me that's gonna allow me to live a profitable life and comfortable life, which is what we all look for, is comfort. And some people have found comfort in a 9 to 5 job, even though they might hate it, but they're comfortable there because they're not doing anything to get out of the place that they're in. For me, I've looked at pyramid schemes and all that bullshit that everybody looks at just to get out of working, and like you, I came to a realization that maybe looking to get out of working is not the right thing, but looking for something fun that can give you profits, maybe that's the right way to look at it. And as I'm saying it, it's sounding better in my head now that I said it. But yeah, I realized that it's not about not going to work no more. It's about finding something that'll be profitable and give you and it'll be beneficial for your life. And now that's what I've been searching for, and that's why it took me forever to actually start doing the podcast, because this I wanted to start doing it back in like 2015, and I've talked about this many times and throughout all the episodes that I've done, that I've actually bought a different set of microphones, and I took them with me, and I wanted to try to record. I was just going to do it off on my phone, and I tried to record, and some way, somehow, I lost those microphones. And I never found them, so I didn't do anything for like 3 years, actually, 2015, 2016. So in 2019, and like around May is when I got the itch again. I was like, because I didn't stop listening to podcasts. I was listening to Joe Rogan, Your Mom's House, was it Fighter and the Kid, and Bad Friends, and all those podcasts. I was listening to them, and they seem to be having fun just having conversation. And it's like, that's something I like to do. Like, I'm having a lot of fun just talking to you. At first, since I hadn't done it in a while, I was dreading it. I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I should just reschedule it, or maybe I should just tell him never mind. But that's it's not just with you. It's been the 186 conversations that I've had with, is it 88 with you? Yeah, 188 conversations that I've had with, it's not even 140. It's probably 80, because I used to do them with my friends. I know I'm jumping a lot of information here, but I apologize. But I lost my train of thought. But anyways, I enjoy doing this, and I chose to because it's something that it could be profitable, and even if it's not, I lost you. And even if it's not, I have fun talking to different people that do different things, and with you, you're like I've had another people that grow their own plants at home, but like just regular vegetables and stuff like that, and flowers and stuff like that. But nobody that does microgreens that with you. So you're the first one that actually does this, and that actually offers the course. So which tells me that you're very knowledgeable of it, and you know what you're doing. But let me ask this about going back to the microgreens. So if somebody wanted to start like you, how did you get started? Like, who introduced you to microgreens, and who introduced you to this knowledge that you can make money off of it?
Yeah, man. 1 second, Mandy. Can you go get me a charger? Thank you. Oh, the reason I shut off right there was my 20% battery came up. So.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Look, it's a cool story, bro. So we actually started this company in the peak of COVID-19. So when there was no other companies coming up, especially doing what we do here, we pulled the trigger on it and started the company. Like I told you, in 2019, I had the best year of my life. I did $147,000, and I wound up. I put the brakes on doing offshore work. My kids were getting to the age where I could spend a lot more time with them. Like I said, volleyball games, soccer games, basketball games, and I done made enough money to where I can enjoy quality time with my kids. So I took an office job, man. I took a $50,000 a year pay cut to go sit in the office for 5 days a week, from 8 to 5 or whenever, And some of that was definitely flexible hours in case overnight calls. I was on call, stuff like that. But anyways, I took an office job and I took a pay cut with it. So 2019 come through, and they come to my boss. They fired my boss on the spot right there. Boom, he was gone. Yeah. They came up to me and they said, "Hey, look, COVID's coming through." At that time, we had 16 field employees that I ran over. We knocked it down to 6. And then they told me, they said, you could go back to work in the field, or you could take unemployment. So I was like, if I go back and work in the field, I keep a company truck, I keep my insurance, I keep all that. So I took the lesser of the two evils, right? I stayed with my job. Took a job, and of course at that time, COVID-19, there's absolutely no work going on. So even though I still had a job, I didn't have a job. All I had was a company truck, and of course I'm still grateful for that. So I'm standing outside in front of a garden that we had grew that year. My wife had grew, and in it was peppermint, zucchini, peas. Just abundant amount of vegetables that we grew that year. And I remember thinking back, I remember that we gave most of it away. And so, of course, me being the mindset that we have, I'm thinking, how can I profit from this and turn it into some money for bills?
Right.
And that's I call it the rabbit hole. That's what sent me down the rabbit hole, man, was just finding out what I can grow fast. I don't want to have to wait, 6 weeks, 7, 8 weeks for zucchini to develop. What's the fastest vegetable, and how fast can I grow it? And so that's what I did. I popped out of the end of the rabbit hole with microgreens, and that's how I come up with microgreens.
See, so one thing led to another, right? So the getting the pay cut led you to this, and you went through it, and now you're almost at the other end, and it seems like you have been pretty successful at it. I've seen a lot of your TikToks because I've been watching them like almost nonstop. I even go back to old ones that you have, and I'm like, how did he get started? How did this even come about? Because
Yeah, man.
What came to me in those times, see, this is what's cool about like you talking to other people. This whatever I got into to make a little extra change during the
Mm.
pandemic, I went a whole different route. I went into the livestock. I went to rabbits. But here
Come
was,
on, man.
yeah, my thing was like, I want to have a side, something on the side to make extra, but I didn't know how. Like, it's crazy to me when I finally understood that people will buy just about anything you're selling if you find the right buyer. Um,
Absolutely.
like recently, I still do the rabbit things, and I was actually doing good, but I kind of feel bad, for like the rabbits, and I'm like, I have too much consideration for animals that I feel like I'm taking their babies away, and but it's not, because the rabbits go to people that will keep them as pets, feed them, and the rabbits won't suffer. I mean, as far as I know, right? But I went into that one because there was my old neighbor where I used to live. He's the one that he had when we moved there, he had like 13 dogs, and that's what he was living off of, just the dogs itself. And he would give me numbers that he was making. I'm like, wow, this is super profitable. And I asked him about it, and I asked him about it more, and he kept telling me, yeah, I used to sell rabbits, I used to sell birds, I used to sell goats and all that kind of stuff they used to sell. And that's when he walked me through the process of where to find buyers and stuff like that. That's when I started understanding that you could actually sell anything. And you went into the microgreens route, right? Which is almost the same way as you came across it, and you were like, okay, how can I profit off of it? And you ask questions, and it's cool to know that there is many ways, that you can make a side job off of. And the thing is that you have to find the buyer, but how do you go on about finding your buyers?
Man, you're asking great questions, bro. Um, so the cool thing about produce is everybody, I really don't care who you are in America, anybody that's buying groceries is buying produce.
Yes.
Um, yeah, absolutely. Whether it be lettuce, carrots, whatever, you're buying produce.
Mostly
So
everybody, yes.
essentially, there's produce. So of course, the first route we're gonna attack is anywhere that a small corporation can sell produce, and it just happened to be the first business we reached out to was a restaurant, a fancy high end restaurant. And of course, by that time, we had made sure that we had our growing process down. We give out samples, got feedback from the samples, and I want to say actually off of that first grow, it was either the first or second grow that we grew. We landed the contract with this high end restaurant, and when I say high end restaurant, it's a city club. So like, I mean, there's
Mm,
Ferraris, there's Lambos. We're in an
high
oil field
end,
community, and
right?
when oil very well, it's doing very well.
Yeah.
So these guys, I mean, like $1 million mansions. I think the city club we sold to, just to be able to dine there, was a $400 a month membership, just to
Wow.
be able to order food off the menu. Yeah, so it was definitely a high end restaurant. Anyways, we got the meeting set up with the head chef there. My wife attended the meeting. I was offshore working, and she told me the meeting lasted no more than 2 minutes. The head chef walked in there. He said, "I'm impressed with how your sunflowers look. I like this, and this." And he placed the order right there,
Nice.
for a weekly order every week. Yeah, so of course, I mean, we felt ecstatic, right? We landed the first try, first time at bat, we hit that home run, man. We sent it out there,
You
so we're
did.
like, heck yeah, absolutely, man. So we definitely ran on that for a long time, man, and I still do, bro. I mean, how often is it that the first time you put a market, you get a yes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And
So, anyways, we
no, I was gonna
I'm
say that
listening.
I was gonna say that most people, most people don't realize that they could be that, like you got lucky, you got that the first try, you got a home run, and most of us don't realize that that could happen, but for the most part, it's just try and error, try and error, try and error every single time. But you got lucky, and it's amazing the way you've done it, and even though you weren't there, you had a backup to help you out, which is that's most important too. When you're dealing with a couple that are trying to build something on the side, that helps out a lot. And yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Round three, I guess, bro.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, man. So we definitely hit a home run the first try, and
Yeah,
of course we were ecstatic from it. But and also in the same breath, we definitely caught some no's, and it just didn't happen to be the first time we had tried. So, but
well,
there's definitely some no's in the story, and one thing I try to stress to everybody that's in the course, don't get hung up on that no. You're gonna get them. I
yeah.
got more no's than yeses. I promise you're gonna get them. So,
I forgot what it's called, but I quote it. I forgot who said it, but I always quote it. It says that it takes 10,000 hours for you to become a professional at anything, and
oh man, I've seen that too, bro.
right. I always quote that, and the way I'm doing my thing that I try to have going on, that's the way I'm pursuing it. I'm just putting in my hours, putting in my hours. Hopefully, by the time I get the 10,000 hour, I've improved a lot, and the quality of whatever I produce has gotten better. And that's the goal. And for sure, how the way you're doing it, since you got your first yes in the first try, that makes the whole thing a lot easier. That as if you would have gotten a no, it would have made it a little bit more complicated for you, because you would have. I'm just speaking for you now, and I apologize. But this is the way I think that like you got your yes on your first try, and for me, and if I would have gotten a no on the first try, like I told you, I would have sat there and cry about it. But then the next morning, I would have been like, all right, what's my next step?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we got that first yes, but we didn't get another yes for about 3 more weeks, and of course that hindered a lot. Um, we wound up talking to an open air market, and the cool thing about it is the people we spoke to, we reached out to them via email, and they have a couple of these open air markets scattered throughout. I'm not gonna say our general area. They have one right in our area, but they have them. They're a chain. So
Okay.
there's a few in our state. And so, anyways, we reached out to this open air market, and they invited us. They said, okay, yeah, go talk to this person. So okay, so when we talk to the person, my wife did actually. Again, I was offshore,
Mm-hmm.
and she called me that evening and she said, look, they accepted our product, but I just want to let you know she's very difficult to deal with. So right there in my mind, I'm like, oh man, we got somebody that's, difficult to deal with. And I just started talking, I'm not going to say talking. I started thinking negatively. And I was like, man, what if it doesn't work out? This, that, and another. Anyways, um, I wound up I came in later that week, so I went to go back over there and give her the next shipment. So when I get there, she made me wait, man, probably like 15 minutes. Which I don't have an issue with. I get it, I understand.
Things
But
come up.
really, what, yeah, man, what really got me, man, was she looked out her office door and she made eye contact with me, and then she closed her office door back, which I give her the benefit of the doubt every time, man.
Mm-hmm.
She's handling business, something like that. So, anyways, probably about 10 minutes into it, one of the other girls come up to me. She says, "I'm so sorry you're having to wait this long," and she went to the office, and she come out the office, and she was very um, I'm just going ahead and put it out there. She was very rude and disrespectful. She was like, What do you got?" And so I was like, I started telling her, this is what I'm here with, and this is what we got. We're just doing a little swap out, making sure that she has fresh produce on the shelf for us.
Mhm.
So she started giving me some weird vibe, man, talking about she wants to make sure that she's gonna only paying for this and this and this. And I get it. If these people aren't selling everything, they're not gonna pay for everything. I like to operate, especially within the first 30 days we get into a new store. I like to work on what's called consignment. That way they don't get a sour taste in their mouth, and that puts initiative on me to go ahead and get correct numbers. That way I'm not overgrowing here in
Right.
my grow house.
Right. Right.
So I started talking to her about this, and she was just very ugly with me. All right, last try, bro. Oh yes, man, we got it, bro.
There you go.
Awesome.
Now it's better.
There we go. All right, man.
All right. So
So, anyways,
you said you were getting a bad vibe from her, and she was
uh,
acting sour. Now you're frozen.
yeah, she was acting sour, man. She was just giving me a horrible vibe, bro. And she was very disrespectful, and it was to the point where I understood that I was nobody to this woman. And so right at the end, man, when she's writing a check out, she literally opened her checkbook, and I just grabbed my product. I said, "Hey, look, don't worry about it. I apologize if I offended you." I said, "But I don't want to do business here." And that was
Mm.
it. Now I had all my fresh produce that was supposed to go to her, and this new account that my wife set up that I backdoored on. Just told her, "Look, I'm done with this. Never again will we do business here." And we since haven't been there. And that's a place that we used to go and buy our produce at. I'll never step foot back in that store. They lost customers.
Of course, yeah. I
So
mean,
absolutely, man. Can you hear me good?
and your
Can you?
video is breaking up a lot, but the audio sounds good.
Can you set this by the door? Okay. All right. Cool deal. Let me know if my video keeps breaking up here. But
Yeah, yeah. You're
so I
frozen
was
right
there,
now.
man, and I was angry. I'm froze.
Yeah, now you're not. Yeah,
All right.
you're good.
All right. We're gonna try it again. I So like I said, man, I had this new batch of produce, and I was hurt. I was angry. I was hurt,
Of
and
course.
I was driving away. I had my wife on speakerphone over my truck, and I'm telling her, "Hey, look, I just reared this account you set up." My wife was like, "Why would you do that?" So I told her, and she's like, "Yeah, I knew something was wrong with her." Anyways, she had my back 100%, man,
Well,
and
that's good.
so I pull up to this other restaurant, man, and I don't know what made me do it, man. I just Googled up grocery stores near me, and one popped up called Champagnes. It's literally spelled champagne, but being in Cajun country, I don't know why. I'm originally not from here. I'm originally from Florida, but anyways, we got
Okay,
a
they name it. They pronounce it different. We'll just say
yeah, they do their own thing. So they pronounce it different, and it was called champagne. So, anyways, I called champagne up and said, "Hey, look, from me doing research, I knew who to reach out to. So, hey, can I speak with the produce manager?" So they patched me through to him. I think it was about 2:30. I called him. His name was Leonard. I
Okay.
said, "Hey, Mr. Leonard, it's Josh from Shilson's Farms. We're Microgreens producer, local." Said, "Is there any way I can set a meeting up with you and show you some product?" He said, "I'm here till 5, man." So right there, I was like, I immediately lowered my mentality that I left with that place with.
Yeah, you
I
had a
immediately lowered it.
negative
And I
experience
was
already.
and I was back in the swing of things. So I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "Look, I'm actually 5 minutes from your store. I'll be there in 5 minutes." He said, "Yeah, man, I'm here till 5." All right, cool deal. So walked over there to him, man, and the product sells itself. So I told him who I am, what I'm with, and when I go meet these people, I always bring a book. I kept it in my truck, and the book just contained price sheets. different information on the crops we grow, what microgreens are. Of course, we give them some type of promotional material because prior to my TikToks, did you know what microgreens were?
No, like I said earlier, yeah, I had
Absolutely.
no idea what it was.
Yeah. 90% of the people we deal with don't. So we have to educate. We have to educate. So I did a little education right there. Product pretty much sold itself. So he went actually go get the owner. And the owner comes up and says, "Yeah, man, same thing that head chef did. We want this, this, and this, and this." And as we built on that relationship, the cool part about it is that we were able to add to that. So that account just it swelled up, man. It was actually our biggest account, and that's just off of a low. I got to a new high. So it's pretty cool, man.
Wait,
That's
that's what I've noticed about it, all these things. They're all roller coasters. There's always going to be a down. There's always going to be an up, and it's never just going to be you're going to stay down all the time. Sure, you might hit a rut here and there, but for the most part, it's always going to go up. You can never stay down. And if you stay down, that's by choice.
Absolutely, man. 100% believe that. I believe that everything in this world that you want is in this world and it's
Yeah.
attainable.
Yeah, of
So,
course it is. Well, you have a course. Did you design this course by yourself, or
I'm
did
not
you?
gonna say it by myself. Once again, my wife's over here, standing over here, out of view. But she's not only my business partner, man. She's my life partner.
Of
Um,
course.
she helped me. She birthed. I'm not gonna say she birthed my ideas. She made my ideas a reality. So when I told her about this business, of course we set our course up through a separate LLC. We have partnerships in this LLC, and I wanted the course to be just for between my wife and I,
Mm-hmm.
because that's something we worked on
Of
separate
course.
from this business. So I told her when the first TikTok went viral, I said, "Man, we got a lot of people asking for a course, and this may be good for a follow up discussion, but there's a lot of people in my industry that hate me. There's a lot of people that have a lot of expertise and following on social media that have reached out to me and told me to focus on my business and verbatim.
Right.
Anyways, that's all. It's all water under the bridge, man. I take it in stride because I come to the realization with my wife. She says, "Well, you pretty much you're shitting where they eat at, and I'm messing up their source of income by just giving the information out."
Yeah,
So a
that's
lot
what I
of
was
people
gonna
were
say.
asking, yeah, they were like, "Well, look, if I pay you this, can you give me one on one?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I told my wife about it, and we designed a course, put it up. We got a Discord, and we had it all on Google Drive, and we've since uploaded it to Discord. But designed the course, man, and we started marketing the course. And I'm gonna just go ahead and throw numbers out. In the beginning, we started with $100 for the course. Uh, the counterparts that were directly attacking me, they charge anywhere from like $700 to $1,500
There it
for this
is.
information. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it's all information that it took me 3 months to learn and really master, but it's all information that's free. And so
Right.
I try to put as much information out on my TikTok that I can, but I always tell people that look, this isn't just at first, it wasn't just free information, but it was a way for me to prioritize that one-on-one time.
Yeah.
I could get on TikTok and answer questions on live, but if you want to be able to call me, whether I'm 200 miles offshore or call my wife, that costs money. Now you're taking time out of my personal time.
Yeah. Of
So
course.
that's how I try to sell it to people. And we did, I think we sold 81 courses, so that's 8,100 bucks. Yeah, we
Wow.
sold 81 courses
See,
within the
that's
first.
why. That's the problem right there. You're that's what you get. You're having all these haters that are coming at you and getting mad at you for offering what you offer, but you're successful at it, and that's why you're having all these haters. And now I'm envying you right now, and this is bad, but I have envy for you right now that you have haters. I haven't had a single hater yet, so the success is not there yet, but it's coming. I'm getting myself ready for it though. But it makes me happy to know that there's people hating on you. So that tells me that you're having a lot of success. And when you mention these numbers, you're for sure having a lot of success. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that you're an entrepreneur now. Is that the right word? Did I say it right? Yeah, I said it right. I hope I did.
Yeah, that's anyways, yeah, man. I just try, man. I try and try and try. Um, this isn't the first business we had for sure. This isn't. It's not going to be the
Well,
last.
that's what I was gonna
Um,
ask. Like, how many side hustles have you had in the past prior to this?
man. Oh man, you asking some good questions. I'd say what? Uh, yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's I'd say about three. The
Okay.
first one I came across long time ago, 2015, was a digital media company. Um, we managed some artists. Actually, I, I I I coordinated some work with. I'm sure you heard of Gary V.
Yes. Yes.
We did some. We coordinated some work with VaynerMedia. I don't even know what happened with that company, if that company is still around, but I went on a different path. Uh,
Right.
so I've definitely held some different companies. From that digital media company, it birthed I'll say a record label.
Well, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Of
that's what it
course.
was. It birthed the record label. The first artist we signed, um, I'm not gonna plug his name in, but we went our separate ways.
All right.
He was he wasn't what he could have been. Um, we didn't expect to make any money off of him. It was, and matter of fact, we didn't make any money off of him. It was solely a kind of a learning experience on our end.
Mm.
Um, we managed after our split with him. We managed two other artists that did pretty well. Um, I made a video for one of them, and it went like super viral, man. It went probably, I'd say, between all the social medias, 15 million views.
Nice.
Um, I'm sure you remember the late XXX Sensation.
Yes. Yes. You
Yeah,
were
we he actually reposted us. Um, so it
nice.
was it was a
It was
it's
popping too, huh?
it was popping, bro.
Damn.
So
So
we made
go on. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no, it's good, man. We made a little bit of money off of him, and once the time came, we said, okay, look, the numbers aren't where the numbers need to be. Once again, we split ways, and the cool thing about this, man, is during this whole time, they had a kid that came to me that I was running ads with. I say a kid, he talked like a kid. So I assume he was maybe, 15, 16, 17 years old. Um, anyways, he also had a heavy social media page. So I would do business with him as well. And he got to a point where he said, hey, look, I'm only accepting Bitcoin. And this time it was 2016. And I remember the exact price. It was $731 Bitcoin was, and some change, but it was $731 that Bitcoin was. And I was like, man, what the hell is this? And put it to the back of my mind for 2 years. So if
Yeah.
I'd have bit the bullet right there, and this is all hindsight, but if I invested all the money that I invested into my prior business into Bitcoin when he told me about it, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But
Oh
still, it's
my
all good.
God. You know what? I was so late to the Bitcoin game, but I'm not staying sitting down. Now that I found out about crypto, I'm not gonna say I'm 100% on it, but with Dogecoin, I made a little change. I didn't make millions, but I made hundreds. And I was
That's
happy with
awesome,
it.
man.
And now
That's
with this Shiba, I'm on it right now too. I'm gonna see if this can make me another couple $100. You know, I when I first started learning about stocks, I was like, oh, this is almost impossible. But I decided to jump on it too because you see that people are making millions of dollars just trading numbers, and it's like,
kids, man.
how? It doesn't make it didn't make any sense, I should say, because now it makes a little sense to me because I'm actually, I I get into I got in Robinhood and Webull. Those are the only two that I got into right now. But that's where I'm holding all whatever I'm holding. That's where I'm holding it. I'm lately I've been seeing that people make digital wallets, and it's different than having like a Robinhood or something like that. And that's what I'm trying to get into. And there's layers to it. Like you found out a Bitcoin when it was at 700, and right now you're like, damn, I wish I would have.
Yeah, yeah, shit.
You know
Yeah,
what?
but it's all
Bitcoin was like 20, maybe 30, like getting to the 30s when I found out about it. When I got into learning about it, I should say. By today when it went up to like 60, I was wishing I would have bought at least $100 worth of that at the time. But I try not to think on the I wish I would have did this and I wish I would have done that, because it's at the end of the day it's like whatever, it's done. There's nothing you can do about it. So what I focus on now is like, all right, what could be what's possible that's coming, and since I gotten into the podcast thing, it's kind of hard to to just focus on one. So I spend a little time here and there. I try to do both of them because I'm amused by it, and I find it interesting, and it's something that I actually would like to do as well. I actually saw one of your TikToks that you got into the crypto credit card. Was it? How does that
yes.
work?
So we have it's cool. It's funny you mentioned that and you mentioned Shiba. Um, I have also on my TikTok. I bought into Shiba when it first pumped. I think that was in May, back in May, whatever. I put 2 grand into it, and woke up the next morning to 4 grand. So I immediately cashed out right there. But if I'd held on to that, I think right now it would be worth
Somewhere in
about
the
five
million.
times that, so about 10 grand. So still, that's okay.
There's still time though.
Hindsight.
How do you see?
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump on this one a little bit because I'm interested to know your opinion on Shiba. What do you think of it? Do you think it'll go? Because the numbers look way better than Dogecoin, right? Do you think it'll go to where Dogecoin got to, or do you think it'll stay lower than Dogecoin?
It's always going to be all right. When we talk about lower than Dogecoin, are we talking about price?
Yeah, I'm talking about like how Dogecoin got to like 63 cents was the highest, I believe, yeah, something like that.
Absolutely. For Dogecoin, I'm sorry, for Shiba to get to 63 cents, it's going to have to I want to say almost 1,000x. Right now, if it's at maybe even more, it might have to even 10,000x. There's no way it'll do that. The reason I say that is I look at market cap. So the
Okay.
market cap of Dogecoin is right about 30 billion. And that's all the Dogecoin combined,
Okay.
divided by how much money is ever invested in the project. So whatever the Dogecoin is right now, I think it's what, 30 cents, 27 cents.
I want to say 28. That's where I saw it this morning. Oh, I could be
Yeah, I did see
lying.
it pump this
It's
morning though.
somewhere in
But
the
anyway,
20s.
yeah, it's somewhere in the 20s times however many Dogecoins they got gives you the market cap. Um, right under it is Shiba, man. So Shiba, I think this morning I seen that it's right around 30 billion market cap, and Dogecoins, I'd say let's just top it out at 40. It's not much above it. So for Shiba to hit 60 something cents, it would have to be worth more than all of the Bitcoins, all of the Ethereums, all of the Doge.
Mm.
It would have to be worth a tremendous amount. It won't happen. The only way it will happen is if every sheep holder uh, burns almost all of their Shiba. That's it.
So, in your opinion, when would it be the best time to pull out?
Um, Now that's another good
That's
question.
in
Honestly,
your
I would never.
just your opinion. I'm not saying what would you recommend for somebody. I'm just saying your
Yeah, I
personal
mean,
opinion.
in my opinion, if you've doubled your money, you've done very well.
Huh?
Um, I mean, it's not too often you're going to see 100% profit. Double your money real quick and jump out. But the real money is going to be made on the waiting game. So it's not going to be, you know, now or a week from now. It's going to be 5 years from now when more than just 20% of the world's invested in crypto. Right now, I think we're standing at less than 1% actually owns or holds some type of cryptocurrency. Less than 1% of the world population. So once that number crosses 20%, I think that's where a lot of the people like you or me, that's this is still in the early stage of development. So the people that like you or me that are actually invested in these projects now, that's when we'll see real gain, real significance of monetary wise. You know,
Mm.
that's when we'll see uh, profits that we're dreaming about now. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just there's not enough volume there for people to make millions and millions and millions and millions and cash out successfully right now.
Unless you come in very early, right?
Yeah, and that's a whole nother discussion because even though you've come in very early, the coin itself may not have the liquidity. And when I say liquidity, it may not have may not be able to cash out into a fiat currency, a USD currency
Yeah, because
or whatever currency.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you've seen the other one that's actually doing as well as Shiba, the cat girl.
Oh man, I heard about it. I didn't look it into any of it, but I have heard about it.
I'm this with this information that I'm sharing with you. This is off of just videos that I've seen, like actually, because I I had no idea about what you're mentioning right now, the market cap and all that. I mean, I knew the word about market cap. I just didn't know about market cap on crypto, and that's how
Yeah,
you're
it doesn't.
supposed to break it down. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Does it make sense the way I'm explaining it to
No,
you?
yeah, it did because you said um you got to do the price that it's at and then the market cap that it's at, and then you base it off of that, right?
Yes, absolutely. So, and in another way, you got to market cap is the total value of the whole coin itself. So I think Bitcoin's like at 800 something billion, which is huge, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and Shiba is worth 30, and Doge is worth 40, and I don't know where Ethereum falls. I do have some Ethereum, and I do have some Bitcoin, but I'm not too sure where Ethereum falls. But that's pretty much the main three right there, right? That everybody's been talking about,
Yeah.
but nobody, at least from what I hear about, talking about stuff like Matic or ADA, which is Cardano. Cardano was a solid um, program to invest, and the cool thing about it is, when I heard about it, I think it was a little north of $1, and it started going up and it wound up hitting like I think $1.20 something, and then we had a little bit of a recession this past summer, so it actually fell back below briefly. I think it touched like 99 cents, and that would been a perfect price point to buy into because right after it hit 99 cents, it shot up to $3, and to me that's good money. I don't
Yeah.
expect to hit 1,000% every day,
Yeah.
but I would love to see 20-30% every day.
Some growth is it's good, good growth, That's the way I'm seeing it. The money that I was investing, like it's always came in handy for me. Like there's been the time, I put in this money in, and by the time I'm getting ready to like get my profits out of it, it's
Uh,
something happens in my life where it comes at the appropriate time. So I enjoy. That's why I enjoy doing this little investments here and there because you don't know they come in handy in the future, and if you have profits, that's even better. So that's why I've actually for like the last 3 months I wasn't doing anything with the stock market at all. So I've been kind of losing, on that end. But this week I kind of jumped back in it. Like I just dropped in. Like watch how big baller. I dropped in $200. Yeah, I dropped in $200, and it's already at 240 just off of Shiba. But I,
yeah,
I I bought other stuff, other stocks, other cryptos and stuff like that. That's how I do it. And have you heard of this website? Is it BizFizz, something like that? That's where
this.
you heard of it?
Mhm. No,
Um,
I have.
it basically breaks down who's buying and how many stocks and stuff like that and who's selling. It breaks it down and it tells you that person that bought it and if they're CEOs of the company, if they're CEOs of a certain company, and it gives you all. It breaks down all that information. So I'm going off a little bit off of that website, but now the next thing that I'm looking to actually learn is like how to make that wallet so I can have it the way you have that you can actually purchase any other different cryptos, because the ones that I'm buying, I'm limited to whatever Webull and Robinhood have, because that's already when like the crypto whatever that coin is, it's already gotten into that popularity stage, that everybody knows about it already. Mostly everybody that's paying attention, I should say.
And I wish I could share my screen right now. I don't know how, but it's super easy, especially on desktop. There's MetaMask you can add as a Chrome extension or a browser extension, and you could buy through that, and you can sell and you can swap through that.
Any
So
any coin?
I'm not going to say any coin, but I'd say a good 85% of them are
Okay.
available through MetaMask. And all the other ones that aren't available through MetaMask, you could definitely get through them uh, just as easy as you were able to get to MetaMask. I just like the way MetaMask, I'm able to link it to my OpenSea account, which is for NFTs. Um, I'm
That's
able
the
to do a
other one
lot
I'm
with
trying to
it
get to.
that,
That's the other
yeah,
thing
that
that
I
I'm
could
trying
do.
to learn about.
Yeah, it was just the first extension that I was able to do that with, and buy Ethereum off of. We mentioned my it's not a credit card; it's actually a debit card for
Okay.
crypto.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
cool thing about it is it's through crypto.com. The cool thing about it is the tier I got, which is Ruby. I think it's like your second lowest tier. So it required me to stake 400 bucks of worth of CRO, which is their crypto, their currency, Crow.
Mm.
So I bought $400 worth, locked it up, got my card sent. They pay for the Spotify and they reimburse you in CRO. They pay for man, I forgot what else it is. I want to say they pay for something else, and it also pays out 3% cash back in
Mm.
CRO. Anything that I buy off of that card. So you've got your $400 locked up, and then it's just a prepaid debit card off of that. You can run it off that, and like I said, it gives you money back. Um, from when I staked it, from that 400 I staked, it's up to 600 now. So it's
Wow.
up, I don't know, 30, almost 30%. You
Do
know,
can you
and
use it? Can you
that's
use?
cool. I mean, that's all.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't use what you locked up, but you can add more funds to it. Now,
Mm.
what you've locked up, you've locked up for, I want to say it's 180 days. And that's what I say. Within them 180 days, it hasn't, time's not up yet. It's still locked up. But
Mm.
my $400 investment has already turned into a $600 investment
Can't go wrong with that.
just for me holding. And that's kind of hitting back on that point I said earlier. It's not going to be a it's not going to be a today or tomorrow or
Yeah.
next week thing. It's going to be a long term play. Um, Hopefully these plays, you know, turn out great, and these what everybody talks about, a bear market coming,
Mm.
and a lot of the cryptos that were around whenever the kid told me about Bitcoin, they're not around anymore, and they didn't survive last bear market. They fell flat on their face. They went to zero, or just totally was wiped out. Um, so yeah, so the coins that I try to invest in are long term coins, coins that I think is going to survive. Crypto.com, it's too big to fail. If you've seen, what was the last fight? Dustin Poirier and McGregor fought. When McGregor, I'm sorry, when
That was about a
Poirier
month ago,
won,
right?
the shirt he was wearing, yeah, maybe a little more. The shirt he was wearing was a Crypto.com shirt. So I think Crypto.com has a great roadmap for success. It's an exchange as well as a utilization for their coin, right? The debit card. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the kind of uh, coins I'd like to invest in. Shiba, They have a roadmap, but when I was invested in them, they didn't. They were just they were the Doge killer, and they're very close to flipping Doge right now. So, hey, am I breaking up? Am I
Yeah,
still
yeah.
here?
That's what I was gonna say. You're breaking up a lot right now. You said that the
Okay.
Shiva is very
Can you
close to breaking. You said.
very close to flipping Doge? So and like I said, the market cap for Doge was 40 billion, so that's all it's worth, and Shiba's like at 30 billion, so it's right there with it. And I will say that a week ago, Shiba was maybe 15 billion. It's half of what it was now,
Mm-hmm.
market cap wise. So since then, an extra $15 billion has poured into Shiba coin, and
Yeah.
it hasn't shown the same for those. Real quick, I'll actually tell you right now. I'll pull up my crypto.com app
All right.
and show you.
Damn, we really went off of the topic that we started on, right?
Yeah, no doubt, man. We're gonna have to
That,
circle back. Well, that'll be a that's I'm game, man. I'm here till I go back offshore Monday, so we definitely get link back up.
oh, okay, for sure. Well, we could definitely just schedule something. I'll I'll get back with you maybe Monday then. Maybe Monday we could reschedule. Um, just wait for that for you to show me that. But there's one question that I wanted to ask you. Going back to the microgreens, I know I'll circle back around a little bit.
Uh
Um,
huh.
how do you deal with pesticides on your greens? Do you use any, or is there any specifics that you recommend, or you just do vinegar? I don't know. I'm just taking a
No,
wild guess.
absolutely. We do not use being an indoor grow. I'm able to control every aspect of uh of its whole growth cycle. So there's no pesticides,
That's
there's no
beautiful.
fertilizers, there's no other contaminants than what I allow into the grow space. So all that's here is filtered water and soil. The
Okay.
soil that we use is a peat moss mix, so there's no added fertilizers to that. Miracle Grow is a great brand, but if you don't buy the right type of Miracle Grow, you're gonna buy stuff that has stuff you
Pesticides.
don't need.
Right.
Um, the microgreens we grow, we focus on specifically. They only take a week to grow, anywhere from 5 to 9 days to grow, and we we don't see the use. I'm actually looking at my rack right now. We don't see the use to use fertilizers if it's not going to have the chance to actually use the fertilizers. And not
Right.
only that, that kind of for me, from my perspective, looking at it as a consumer, it kind of adds extra chemicals that you know I really don't want.
Right.
Um,
Right. For sure.
and that's the whole thing especially for me, man. When I was selling, especially the grocery stores, I always ask myself when I swap the invoice for the goods, do I see myself as a customer buying this? I don't want anybody to lose out. I don't want the merchant to lose out. I don't want to lose out, and I dang sure don't want a customer paying something that's not worth it for the customer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I
And
get completely what you're saying.
and that's the whole point why I say buy local, is because
Right.
these guys have that in mind.
Yeah.
Um,
When
Most
when
of them do.
when you buy from like big corporations or like big like huge businesses that have a lot of accounts, it gets a little more where they cut corners because they
Absolutely.
have to produce into quantities rather than quality. But when you get a local grower, that's when you get the quality, because the local grower is only focusing on the small amount that they have right there. It's not like they got fields and fields of this type of plant or greens. Yeah.
Yes, and being a smaller type grow too, since we don't have fields and fields, I can focus more on what you're buying.
Right, right.
On what you want, on what you get.
Yeah, but
So that's
the only thing that sucks about the way you're doing it, that it limits you to a certain amount, though, right? I mean, you're doing fine. So it's like for you, it's probably not just the limit. It's just probably like that's what you want to grow now, right?
yeah, and I don't view it as a limit because I could always buy another building and grow more, and I could hire people and grow more. And to the point that we were selling out, we're actually to that threshold where, okay, we can hire employees, and we can start outsourcing the work,
Right.
and we can take a step back.
But
But
that's what I was saying. That now, when you get into that side of it, now it's not you focus on the quality of it. If it's gonna be
yeah,
more of the quantity of it, right? Because now
yeah,
you're responsible
yeah,
for somebody
100.
else's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
And real quick, this is Amaranth. You
Amaranth.
can,
Yeah, those
yes,
things look
Amaranth.
beautiful. Those little plants, man.
Oh yeah, it is definitely is. And now we just grow for us, man. And
Oh,
for of course I do some videos on YouTube and stuff like that, but I enjoy it because I'm able to. I don't know, man. I just it's a piece of it's a tangible part that I'm giving to my community, and that's
yeah.
just you just can't beat that. I'm providing an actual service
Yeah, it
to
makes
help.
you feel good, of course, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's just something I just can't get over with, man.
right.
And that's why I put my full weight behind this project and dove in it, headstrong, full first. There was no other people doing it to the scale that we started it.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I had never seen anybody that said side hustle and microgreens. I had never seen anybody that. And when you came to my feed, I was like, this is a great idea. Well, how come nobody else is doing this?
it is, man. Hey, real quick, where are you from?
uh, where I live in California,
Where at?
SoCal, Riverside,
Okay, so like the next biggest city to you would be.
Orange County,
All right, look at this. I'm gonna look up the
San
population
Bernardino.
of
Yeah,
Orange County real quick.
I won't say San Bernardino because that's you don't want to go down there.
Come on, that bad?
Yeah, well, they say it's the worst city with the worst crime. I guess the number one city. So yeah, it's kind of bad.
All right. The little population that I service here in Lafayette, which is our little area is called the Acadiana region. So in Acadiana, I can touch up to was it 170,000 people, which is pretty small, man. And we were making anywhere from 900, 1,300 bucks a week, and off that's just off of that 170,000 people that I could touch. I'm hitting nowhere near it. I'm not getting nowhere near probably 1% of that.
Mm.
Um, in Orange County, you're looking at 3.7. I'm sorry, 3.17 million people.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but
yeah, that's
Orange County, it's the whole county that covers many cities. I guess I should have just mentioned one city. That's a bunch of different
well,
cities.
what's one city? Name one city.
Let's go with Anaheim then.
Anaheim.
Yeah. So you get more of an accurate number because the county that has multiple cities. So yeah,
Yeah, Anaheim, just that city itself has 346,000 people.
that's
So
a
you
lot
could
of
double
people.
what we're doing here
It's
easily.
possible, yeah. So it's possible, yeah. You were gonna
Oh
show me
yeah.
something about crypto, and I know I jumped into something else, and I keep doing that. But
Yeah,
I
I was
want to know
gonna
what
say,
you were gonna
yeah.
show me about your crypto. I
Market cap, real quick, market cap of Shiba Inu is 30 billion.
okay,
And let me see here. Market cap on Doge. That's gonna take a minute for it to load now.
okay, no worries.
So market cap on Shiba Inu was 30 billion. Market cap on Doge is this is the cool thing. Oh man, it's real. It's neck and neck almost 39 billion. So
They're
we're talking a difference
close.
of a billion. No, I'm sorry, 9 billion, which is a good bit. But on this scheme of things, it's very close to flipping Doge. I'd expected to flip Doge,
When you say
but
flip, what do you mean?
get a higher market cap value than Doge.
So that means it'll
So
surpass
yeah,
Doge.
yeah, it'll surpass not the price of Doge, but the collective value of Doge.
So
Okay.
if the collective value is high, then if it gets to a bearish market, will it survive?
That's something else too, man. I don't see Dogecoin, Shiba Coin survive in a bear market.
Uh,
It's going to be your solid coins like Bitcoin Ethereum, Cardano. More, it's going to be coins that add value. In my perspective, now this whole meme trend, Dogecoin, Doge Killer, Cat Girl. They had another one, and you might want to edit to where this one is, but it's called Cum Rocket. Um, yeah, Cum Rocket. The freaking ticker symbol is cummies. So that it shot up like 5,000%. And I mean, that's just astronomical, that's crazy. But it's the
Right.
whole meme coin frenzy that has no value to
For
real
the
world.
long run though, but to make a little
Yeah,
quick change, like if you
absolutely.
jump on it at the right time and get out at the right time, you make some good money on them. Yeah,
Absolutely,
I
man.
was watching a video of an older gentleman that he was talking about that he works something that has to do with Dogecoin. I don't, I mean, not Dogecoin, Bitcoin. But I don't remember what it was. But he was saying that if you want to be a millionaire within the next 10 years with Bitcoin, he said every week it doesn't matter. Just drop in 5, 10, $20 on a Bitcoin. Just buy them because the price is gonna keep going up, and it looks like. And there's countries already. There's at least that I know. There's one country that has made it its coin actually. I don't know if you were aware of that. I'm pretty sure you were.
Yeah, I think it was El Salvador,
El
maybe.
Salvador, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, they actually just bought 400 something more coins during the dip. So yeah, and to be honest with you, a country buying it, I don't know, man. That's a that's a dangerous situation because overnight that country can lose
Well, here's the
half its.
thing. Here's the thing. Like I'm Salvadorian. That's where I'm from actually.
Yeah. Okay.
um, here's the thing about that country. Back in early 2000s, like early 2000s, they got rid of their coin. They actually don't have a coin. They were using dollars. But the thing that sucked about it was they were paying everybody in dollars, but the amount was at the rate that the coin used to be. So, say if $1 used to the value of $1 in El Salvador used to be like it was called a colon. It was 8 colones, 8 9 colones, which is like $9 10, eight $10, eight Jesus Christ, $8 9 from that country. But they
Yeah.
got rid of that coin, so they were only using dollar. So when everything turned into dollar, everybody got screwed because everything got as expensive as it was here, but they were getting paid as if they were getting paid in the coin from El Salvador in those times. So the country got screwed over pretty much. And now they're kind of trying to get rid of the dollar, but they kind of did already. So now they jumped into the crypto market, which it was actually the first country that ever did that. And
Hmm.
that puts Bitcoin, I think, in a different scale, because if countries are using it as their currency, what that means that it's just gonna keep getting better and better, right? Or do you think it'll get worse if countries adopt it as a coin, as a?
I think, oh man, you've opened up a
I
whole
know,
nother.
right? I
Um,
jump back and forth on everything.
that's good, Dave. I think using it for day to day use as purchasing goods and services, I think it's a bad idea. Um, I think it's a good store of wealth for generational income. Um, but the way I look at it is okay. So if let's just say I'm in Ecuador, I'm sorry, El Salvador, I go buy a Chevrolet. What's the common car they have in El Salvador?
Since I was there, I was 11 when I left that country. I'm gonna say
Okay,
Datsun.
okay.
That's
Well, let's say a Ford.
a Nissan.
Uh,
Okay, Ford. Let's just say Ford. Okay.
I go to buy a Ford truck over there, and they say, "I look, it costs 2.5 Bitcoin." So I'm like, okay. Um, I go, I don't have 2.5 Bitcoin. I say I have 2 Bitcoin. I save up some more. I save up that other half of Bitcoin. So then I go back to them and they say, hey, look, Bitcoin has let's say it crashed. They say, hey, look, Bitcoin, this truck that costs 2.5 Bitcoin, now it costs 1.5 Bitcoin. Okay, all right, I cough up the money or whatever, and then it just plummets from there. Or even worst case scenario, I go with 2.5 Bitcoin and say, hey, look, it's no more 2.5 Bitcoin. It's worth 5 Bitcoin or whatever. And I
Right.
was like, it fluctuates too much to be used
That's
as a standard. The U.S. dollar has always been worth $1.
yeah. one
You know
dollar
what I
is
mean?
$1. Yeah, yeah.
$1 is $1, and for you know one moment, Bitcoin could be 62,000. If you wait a month, it could be 32,000.
Right.
So, but I don't
It
know, man. And
fluctuates
this
too
is,
much.
but yeah, and that's just my opinion. But we're in a time to where that it is it's going to be used. It may not be Bitcoin. I'm invested in a bunch of different projects. One of them's called XRP. There's a lot of haters on XRP. Me personally, I can't afford to be wrong about it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna throw a couple $100 on XRP. I've already put a couple $100 in, and I made some money since then. But if I'm right, and these people are saying, like this could be worth $35. If the case, they're in an SEC lawsuit right now.
Mm.
So if they win the SEC lawsuit, they're projecting immediately upon approval of the SEC, that's going to be at least 35. And some are speculating $10,000 a coin. Um, but whatever it falls
Of
in, I'm gonna,
XRP.
yeah, XRP. It's called the banker's cryptocurrency,
You know what?
and
I've been
it's
seeing that one a lot come up on my feed where I go to look at the things, and I
and
was like, could that be good? But you're bringing it up, so it must be good. I mean, I'm only saying that because everything you're doing seems to be successful. So you really get into the details of things, right?
yes, I try to. So it's one of them cases to where it's okay for me to throw a couple $100 on, and if I lose it, I lose it. You know what I mean? But if I win, I'll win tons. I'm gonna win a lot of money.
Of
But
course.
if I lose, I lose. Oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's only $200. If
Yeah.
I win, I'll be sitting on several 10,000s.
Yeah,
So
there you
we'll
go.
see.
That's
We'll
one way to
see.
look at it. That's how when I started investing money into the stock market. That's how I looked at it. First time I grabbed $300, and I was like, "This $300 are gone. Whatever, they're gone. I'll play with that money here, see what happens." And like I said, I those $300, I turned them into about I want to say $900 profit. So
What? That's awesome,
I
man.
was excited. That was actually the first year just copying people doing what they're doing, and I made that money. And that's when I was like, "There's something right here." And now I'm paying a little more attention to it. The more attention I pay to it, the more you learn about it, or the more you comprehend it. And that's the thing about it, that it feels like you won't comprehend it because it's numbers and numbers and numbers. But when you get down into really trying to understand it, it gets pretty simple. It gets pretty simple. I mean, as long as you're reading it correctly, of course. I'm not saying I'm
Yeah.
an expert at it, but I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I should be an expert sooner or later. It's just like I said earlier, 10,000 hours.
Yeah, man. You stole the words out my mouth, man. Uh, and
Yeah.
like I say, man, I'm no expert at anything I do, but I do.
Well, you
You
kind of
know,
are because you're very successful at it. At the microgreens, you're. I would say you're an expert at it because look at you. You already got a course going on. You're
look,
successful with
man.
your course, man. And it's all I could say is like I'm so happy for you that you found something to be successful at it,
And
and
I
you are.
appreciate it. I remember probably, I don't know, back whenever I first did TikTok. I opened up the app, and my very first video is me going around to Goodwills, and I flip things. So I buy stuff at Goodwill, and we've been doing this probably. My wife and I have been doing this. I don't know what you think, about 3 years, 3 4 years at least.
Okay.
And it would started out as like little sets of dinnerware, um, glasses, china, stuff like that. And we started doing paintings. Anything we could flip, really, man. Shoes, purses.
Yeah.
Just
Just
happened that this
yeah.
day we were looking at some paintings, man. And I picked up two of them, and
One of them, we reached out. It was they both were signed. One of them was signed and numbered. So of course, when I look at things like that, I look at the frames. Is it an old frame? Is it a new frame? Stuff like that, you know. And
Hmm.
of course, I look at the signature, and I try to do some research right there. Well, this one was signed and numbered, and I wound up buying it just right there. Didn't do no research on the spot. Bought it. It wound up my $8 investment wound up turning into $790 painting.
Sweet.
Um, I haven't sold it, man. I'm holding on to it. I might send it to my kid's school does a auction. So if I give it to the auction, I could do a tax write off and write off
There
the
you
full
go.
amount. So I'm gonna do that this week. But
You should. You
as
should
yeah, that was
definitely.
my first TikTok, man. And the second one, I want to say it was the same day. I come through here, I come walking right behind me, man. I was like, "Big Side Hustle 2021," and that's probably the video you had seen.
I
But
want to. It was one of those.
yeah, my kids, whenever I posted it, my kids were like, I mean, because the younger generation, they're on TikTok.
Yeah.
They're all,
The dances, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Those are
So my
fun. They're not
kids,
as fun as when people teach you something new, or
yeah,
or the crazy ones where people are doing dumb things too. Those are pretty fun too.
yeah. But my kids was like, "Why are you putting it on TikTok? Nobody's gonna look at it." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So a few days
You should have been
passed.
like, "There's avenues to this. That's what you got to
Yes,
understand."
yeah. So there was a few days passed by, and I turned notifications off on my app. I have all notifications off on my app, on
Yeah.
all my apps on my phone. Excuse me. So, anyways, I was at the doctor's office. I was out. I had been out for a month for my knee, and I had a bad knee injury. Man, I tore my MCL, um, tore something in my kneecap. Man, it put me out of work. So sent it to the doctor's office, and the doctor's office, bro, they take forever.
Oh
So
man, they're
yeah, they ain't
notorious for
lying.
that. It's like you told
So
me to be here at a certain time. I'm here at a certain time. I'm here
man,
earlier than that time, and you still make me wait. Jesus.
oh man, no doubt. I play my phone loud just so they know. So
Okay, so they get
I'm
tired of me. Hey, you know what? That's a great idea. I've never thought about doing that. Just to annoy the
yeah,
crap out of them and be like, "Hurry up, man."
so I open my phone up to play it loud. I open TikTok up and I see it going crazy, man. Like all kind of notifications on it. So I tell my wife, I say, "Hey, Mandy, I think something's going on." My wife's name is Mandy. So I show Mandy. I'm like, "Holy crap! I got." I think at the point it was right around 10,000 followers. Um, so I get home, man. I'm excited. I'm about to rub it in my kids' faces. By the time I get home, it done swell up to almost 30,000 followers.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So my kids was like, "Oh, wow, naysayers, right? You're never gonna get 100,000 followers." So broke 100,000 followers shortly after that, man. I wound up going offshore, and I come home, man, and I'm like, "Look, this is what I got now." So they're all boudet about it, pouting. And I think we're up to 180, almost 180,000
Wow.
followers now, man,
Do,
just from showing people how to grow
right.
microgreens, bro.
Do you
And that's
get
nuts.
do you get to dive your hand into the creator fund with those numbers?
Yeah, I can. Once I crossed the 10,000 follower mark, I could have. Um, I chose not to. The little bit of research I did into it, everybody on the everyone I looked at horror stories, of course, but everybody I've looked at, they said once you choose, you opt into it, unless you're huge, that TikTok's now gonna throttle your views because they have to pay you for the views now. So they're gonna
Mm.
keep the views throttled down, and I'm not for that. So that's another reason we made the course is I'll get my money on the
Um,
back end.
right. Yeah,
And
this.
just from the addition, from me doing my math on how much money I'd have made from the views, I'm looking at maybe $400 for the. I think one of the videos got 3 million views on it, so I'd have made $400 off of that, and just off that video, I made probably $4,000 from selling
Wow.
courses.
Okay, well, I mean, so it's balancing perfectly for you then. So that's
Absolutely,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm not gonna make TikTok pay me when I could get paid.
Right, right. It's just for
Yeah,
promotion, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, bro.
yeah.
And
And
that's another thing, bro. You can leverage that and just I don't know. There's so many ways to make money. If you're broke in 2021, it's because you want to be down. You know, it's
you know
just
what?
it's
Most people don't like hearing that, but if you're stuck in the rut and you stay in that rut for like however many years, it's your own fault, man. There's so
absolutely
I'm also like I said earlier, the guy that taught me about selling livestock, it was like I was amazed when I was finding out, oh, you can sell this, you can sell that, you can sell those animals. There's buyers for all kinds of things, and you just got to find them. And once you
absolutely.
find your avenue, you can be very successful at it, or you could be mediocre, or you could just stay where you're at.
Yeah, everything. The I listen to a lot to we talked about podcasts. So it's not, I wouldn't call it a podcast, but I listen to a lot of audiobooks.
Okay.
And one of my favorite audiobooks was the 10X Rule from Grant Cardone. I'm sure you
I
heard of him.
have to read that book. You're
And a
like the
lot of
third person that's brought up that book to me.
tell you, it's life changing, bro. If you can't read it, listen to it. I
Okay.
SoundCloud is actually where I listen to. I listen to it for free. Um, and this was probably I don't know, right when I was beginning my business because once again, you know, I was self confident, and now I'm having to talk to business owners and decision makers,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to I need to look the part as much as well as play the part.
Right.
So it definitely upped my game on that. And you know, especially before I made a sales call, I'd pump myself up to Grant Cardone. I made my wife listen to it.
That's
Uh,
good.
yeah, man. I just, as you know, you have to live it. If you want it, if you
Yeah.
want to be it, you got to live it. You got to play the part. And there's something else I talked about on my TikToks is I could have stayed with the shitty, with the you know the subpar packaging materials, but I decided to upgrade that and upgrade my income from it. So I listen to a lot of Grant Cardone. The 10X rule, it specifically talks about whatever you're aiming for, 10 times that. So
Yeah.
if you're aiming for 1,000 subscribers, aim for 10,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. I
Uh,
yeah. Set your goals
that
higher.
yeah,
Shoot.
absolutely. I'm sure you heard.
If you shoot for the stars, you at least land on the moon.
Absolutely, man. You stole it right out of my mouth again, bro. That's it, brother.
Well, Josh, and on that note, well, we're gonna have to reschedule. There's a lot more to talk about with you, man. I'm having so much fun. We're almost at 2 hours already. Like
Golly, bro.
yeah. I don't want to take more of your time, and it's already getting late, and I got to get up early tomorrow for work again. So we're gonna cut it there. So please go ahead and plug your YouTube channels, your TikTok, and all that good stuff that you got going on. And please send me an email with all your links, and I would like to share all the links too as well, please. So go
Awesome,
ahead and
man. I'll
plug
do
your
it.
channel, please.
All right. You can follow me at TikTok, Bagelfinagle. You can follow me on YouTube, Bagelfinagle. I'm sorry, Microgreens with Bagelfinagle. Um, that's really it, man. That's really the only two social medias I use.
Awesome.
Uh, for the people that are very serious about what we do here, Microgreens specifically, if you look on my channel on TikTok, I'm sure my name's gonna pop up somewhere. And I've done had hundreds of people message me on Facebook. I answer 100% of those. TikTok's a little funny right now.
Hmm.
I used to get all the everybody's messages. Now, if I don't follow somebody, I don't get their messages. But
Oh, okay.
that's all good. Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on the podcast. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, we're definitely gonna have to touch back.
Definitely, we do, and it was an honor having this conversation with you. I really had so much fun with you, and you're a really interesting person to talk to, and your goals. You're shooting for the stars, man, and you'll definitely get to the moon for sure, man. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for giving me this conversation that I had with you, and
Man, you
we'll
the
stay in
best, bro.
touch definitely.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, and none. So, if you're interested in knowing how to get started on your own garden of microgreens, you know who to contact to. I really enjoyed having this great conversation with my new friend Josh, and he's and I really messed up the video again. I had so much fun having this conversation with him. He's a wonderful person. I enjoyed it. It was great. Definitely not trying to close this, but anyways, I had so much fun, like I said, and that's it for today. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we're gonna keep doing this conversations because it's really interesting, and I enjoy having them. Anyways, that's it for today.